Aloha, my friends. I've got some very exciting news from Shivambhu world. And all this came about after having a most extraordinary urotherapy training class number 1. This is in a series. This is my 35th urotherapy training course. And if you haven't, you're sitting on the fence wondering if you should take this urotherapy training course, and you want to know every possible thing there is to know about this water, its history, its ingredients, its use, its treatments, the protocols, how to talk to people about it, how to answer questions, and even how to turn it into a career, you'll want to take this. But something exciting happened during that class. The class only consisted of me and a new dear friend and brother, Ken Newbill. We had this class this morning, part 1 of part 5, of 5 in a series. And one of the things that came out of the class was the Shivambhu wisdoms, something that I've been teaching, preaching for the last 8 years. You can get the Shivambhu wisdom chart that has all the major components of why this water works and how it transcends beliefs and medical filters and are all ways of understanding self-healing. And that's what the chart's all about. But one thing we're adding to the chart is this new idea, which some of you have already discovered in your own personal experience with Shivambhu, and that is Shivambhu has a consciousness. Now, many of you know I live on Kauai, and if you're spending time in an ocean, the power of the ocean, the vitality of the ocean, the plasma of the ocean, the minerals of the water, and the energy and the frequency of this ocean, you'll discover oceans have consciousness. Right? The mammals that live there, the fish who live there, the dolphins and the whales and the turtles and the seals, they all know that. Well, now we know that urine also has a consciousness. This is why the deeper you go, the more profound it is when you start using your water, your golden water. And you'll eventually discover that you'll never want to stop using this water, and it becomes a lifestyle. It becomes a way of living. It becomes a way of healing yourself. It becomes a way of clearing your mind, clearing your body, your blood, everything. There's a consciousness that knows. This urine knows. After it's been converted or transferred from the liver to the kidneys, before it reads out everything in the body to prepare itself and to get the stem cells a job, it knows what needs to be done. It knows how to blend the perfect nutrients for your body to restore itself back to homeostasis and back to healing again. There's a consciousness that directs and orchestrates all that's going on in your bodily functions with this water that's in a complete system. It's going around you, and it comes out of you. You put it back in you. It's a closed system. We don't want to break the system. You don't want to throw it away. You don't want to put it in a toilet. You want to be collecting it and drinking it and snorting it and swishing it and putting it in your ears, eyes, belly button, bum, everywhere you can, as much as you can, and saturating so your whole body is infused with the golden Christ consciousness of the holy water. That's right. Urine has intelligence. Urine has a consciousness. Urine may be working in concert with the higher self of you to keep you going, to keep you alive and keep you well. Remember a guy who was supposedly lived off of nothing for 73 years. He was a man named Wadu, or Siddha Wadzu, whatever his name is. And for 73 years, he didn't eat anything. And they put him in through testing. They put him in a hospital, and they lab tested him, and they this tested him, and they that tested him. And they couldn't figure out why and how an individual could go without food, without water. And then it came to the understanding of those who knew him is that he was recycling his urine. He found a way instead of it leaving out the body, it stayed contained in the body, and it regenerated his body and nourished his body and fed his brain and animated all the functions and systems of the body. It was the golden ultra-filtered plasma water. Why do you think first responders, when they grab someone who's been in an accident and they stick them in an ambulance on the way to the hospital, what are they injecting in their arm? Gold plasma, right? The plasma that they get from people who donate blood, and they separate the red from the plasma. Now stay with me, guys. What we have at our disposal, as some people like to say, on tap, are right between your knees when the time is right. You have that living part of the blood components as a living plasma that's been filtered 1.2 million times by a very, very sophisticated system known as the nephron system that's in your kidneys. I mean, in a new paradigm, and I had this vision in 2017, in a new paradigm, when Shivambhu becomes a way of life, and everything changes, and the structure changes, and the medical system changes, and the insurance system, and everything changes, what do you think they'll be putting inside those people's veins? Shivambhu. They'll bring them back to life. They'll get their strength back. They don't even have to drop them off at the hospital. You can take them home, right? That's how intelligent this water is. You have direct conversation with your water. Every time you drink it, every time you pour it, every time you smell it. By the way, you guys that are helping people to cross the mental bridge, to get through whatever hurdles they have to get to change their framing of it's a negative, disgusting thing to it's a positive, life-saving, nourishing, vital water. Have them look at it. Look at the water. Notice there's bubbles. Notice there's oxygen. Notice there's a gold tint. Have them smell their water. It's like pheromones. You got to get to know your essence, right? And you can use your nose as a litmus test. You can use your nose like a pH strip. And if you're sensitive enough, you'll know. What you ate the night before, you can detect it. And when you taste it, you'll know for sure you dialed in your food path right. And I've been doing Baja salt, Baja gold salt. And I can taste the salt in the water. Now I know Baja cold salt is considered a very mineralized salt, and people like David Avocado Wolf are pitching it, and other people are pitching it, and I've been pitching it. It still shows up as a salty urine. So what I like to recommend to anybody, I know I'm moving the subject here, so stay with me. We still got that part that urine is a consciousness, and it has abilities and an understanding of you that you don't have, that is beyond your ability to grok the power of your own body, the magnificence of the God-created soul suit. It's not limited in healing. People heal themselves all the time of the incurables. So here's back to the salt thing. People are getting crazy with some of these lifestyles they're dealing with, because people say you got to have the right sodium, and you got to have the right salt, and you got to have this kind of this and that kind of that, right? Maybe, maybe not. I question everything, including the popular things that were not popular, like salt, and then came back, and chocolate, and then came back, and now coffee is coming back, and you can live without all of these. And if you want to know for sure that the consumption of these superfoods or nutritional powerhouses or supplements is doing you any good, or if you're still, holding on to it like a lifeline, is take a break from it and do a urine fast and discover you had just as much energy, just as much strength, just as much clarity, just as much calmness without having to supplement. We may not be deficient after all. That's another thing I love to question. We may not be dehydrated after all. That's another question. Are these all theories? All these are myths? How is it there's people in the world that don't buy supplements? They don't eat these new, popular, trendy superfoods, and they're doing just fine, and they live to be 100. What are they doing that we're not doing? What do they know that we don't know? How are they holding themselves, and what is their consciousness, and what is their way of being, and what are their spiritual practices that allow them to be free from all these things, and free from all these attachments, and free from all the dogma around food rules and supplement rules and all kinds of things? You can get there. You can cross that bridge. You can be free of all those forms of enslavement, even to your supplements. I have a feeling that Chris Manley would agree with me. We'd have to consult with that. So if you get a chance, go to my YouTube channel or scroll down in this Facebook page and give yourself 20, 30 minutes. No, wait, it was an hour and a half. Well, go watch the replay of the class with Ken, Newbill, and Brother Sage talking about urine therapy. Talking about all kinds of things that we don't normally talk about in the urine therapy community. And that's only the first of a 5-part series. And if you want to know what we know and what is discussed in these classes, take a class. Go to my YouTube channel. Watch the recording of the last 35 urotherapy training courses. World Urine Therapy Conference calls. By the way, we'll be scheduling some more. We're up to 44 urine therapy world conference calls. We have as many as 45 people on the call. Some of the high influencers in the nutrition and wellness community that are putting their names and reputation behind urine therapy were on the call. I'm not going to ego out and drop names, but some of these are available on my YouTube channel, Rumble channel, BitChute. I don't think I did Odyssey. Definitely Facebook. And so take the class, master your body, master your consciousness, master your emotions, master everything that allows you to be a free, healthy, successful, wealthy, connected, loved, sovereign being. And then you are free. So I hope you enjoyed this talk tonight and got the idea that there's a consciousness in your Shivambhu. Do you ever wonder why when they show those archaic, those classic religious images of the Christ, Archangel Michael, Saint Germain, whoever was in this collective, Mother Mary, they had a golden hue around their head. They had this golden light. And some of those pictures have the golden light emanating all down and around their body. It was their Shivambhu essence that was radiating out of them. We are the Goldens. This is the golden years of our lives. We are bringing in the golden age. So just drink it. It's activated, bioavailable, structured, living, distilled, golden plasma water. It's free. You can't buy it in the store. They'll never put a patent on it. And it's personally created, designed by you, for you. It is the best of you, given to you from the essence of the consciousness of the Shivambhu, or Christ consciousness. And when you take the best of you and you put it back into your body, you become the best of you. Be the best of you, my friends. You're worth it. Aloha.